Sean Nerny sitting right next to Georgia Tech legend Joe Hamilton. We are in the Rooms to Go lounge, and a lot of news for Georgia Tech this week. Obviously, tomorrow night the white gold game gets underway down at Bobby Dodd Stadium. But this week, big news for Jeff Collins and company. 24/7 Sports released one of their first versions of the national rankings. And Georgia Tech, we were all the talk was how fast is a recruiting game going to get picked up at Georgia Tech? 15th in the nation right now, Georgia Tech's recruiting class.
Yeah, Nerny, I did a double take. I couldn't believe it. I had to try to verify, is this real? Where are they getting this noise from? Because that's what you would say is noise, having Georgia Tech ranked that high. And boy, that's contagious. Because other recruits, they're looking at who you're bringing in to see if you even got a chance of getting those guys. So that's very, very important.
So what do you think the number one, obviously, right when Jeff Collins gets to town, you get the big running back signing Griffin out of Rome,
Yes.
Georgia. You get a couple transfer guys in. You got Clayton, who is coming from Florida. You get Ezard, who's a receiver from Miami. What's the number one thing that you think Jeff Collins is selling to these kids to get an immediate impact?
Opportunity to play, number one. And the total person program. Back to Homer Rice, Sean Nerny. You get athletically high volumes of players. Then you talk about socially and academically. Come on, that's what he's selling. He's branding back again because what happens, they've forgotten that the heart of Atlanta is Georgia Tech.
Right, and it's really great. It's refreshing to hear the fact that he's using the academic standards at Georgia Tech in a positive light and using it as a tool, whereas in the past we've heard, we can't get this guy here, his academics aren't great. Jeff Collins is fully embracing that message.
Yeah, he has to, because you look at his roster, 60% of the people in his roster, Nerny, are taking business management. And then when they do take engineering classes, they don't get out of them. So that's a misnomer. If you want to be a broadcaster, go over there. We have internship at TNT. Charles Barkley and those guys right across the street. Misnomer, he's going to change that whole culture back to where it's supposed to be.
So, like I mentioned before, tomorrow night, white and gold game down at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Going to be a lot of energy down there. We're going to try to get 20K plus fans in attendance down there. Well, I know you're going to be down there.
Yes,
I'll
absolutely.
be down there myself. What are some of the things you're looking for tomorrow night?
Well, airing it out. I'm going to pay specific attention to the quarterbacks, just their techniques. I'm not looking for them to be world beaters, just their technique.
Right.
Are you able to be accurate, get the ball downfield, and defensively? The press corners, the new defensive philosophy, attacking. I'm really ready to see that. And remember one thing, Nerny, it's all about the recruits that's going to be there.
Right.
You want to put a show on for the recruits.
Right, and Jeff Collins was in studio with the front row earlier this week, and he talked about the recruiting and aspect of things. It's going to be a really big day for Georgia Tech, for Jeff Collins, the entire program. So make sure you get down there early. Like I said, 7:29 kickoff tomorrow night, Friday night at Bobby Dodd. We'll see you down on the flats.
Will you be signing autographs?
Signing autographs only if you pay me enough.